A pleasant good morning. I'm sorry because we had a early meeting today overseas. We are still here in Oklahoma City. Good morning. It's March the It's March the 13th. Pardon me of the interruption because this is an emergency sequel for Unilever investors. And I'd like to be very clear, this is an emergency video program. That's why we have had to rush everything. And let me go straight to the point and inform the current CEO, Fernando Fernandez. Congratulations, Mr. Fernandez, on your well-deserved promotion after being with Unilever 30-some years or more. You deserve it, and let's get into it immediately. You mentioned in your acceptance speech recently, a few days ago, that you wanted a demand machine. Well, that has been done a long time ago, way back when I was with Cheese Bro Ponds International. But because of the political infighting and tremendous mudslinging, the system was tarnished by this Sri Lankan. And my good Filipino executive colleague of mine, Mr. Ernie Zotto, can attest to that fact. But let me go straight into it. What is the demand machine I'm talking about way back decades ago? It's a demand of consumers. It's that basic. But when you get into it, especially with big accounts right now, with Walmart, Target, and so many independents we have here in the United States of America, Canada, and Mexico, it becomes somehow complicated. Why? Because of three things. Number one is the price. Number two is that all transactions sometimes may not be profitable. And the most important thing would be what I call as integrative selling. For a lack of a better term, selling means introducing a product where you would buy it. But now we have what we call, as I would like to tell my clients a long time ago, when I was still in the Philippines and other parts of Asia, it's what you call as a demand flow. Now there's a person again by the Del Rosario group that have consistently maligned me on this particular issue. Okay, the Del Rosario group would say, but you never had that particular client. What are you talking about? Who said that? And that is the sad story we have here right now with Unilever. That's why up to now they are stuck with 52. I'm talking about their stock share price in the big board. I'm talking about the New York Stock Exchange. Again, this is all impromptu. This is a fast video. So if you want to clarify certain points, all you have to do is call me up, because this is new stuff, you know. The problem with the term selling is that it has been bastardized by so many people. Okay, they have a negative connotation about selling. And we want to correct that, because sales directors, in my opinion, considering what is happening right now in this fast fluid market, which is going up and going down. Going up for certain companies like Procter & Gamble has massively improved their profitability measures thanks to the CFO. And now CEO, Mr. Jean Moller. And I think it's very clear that Mr. Moller got a lot of new ideas from yours truly. And number two would be Mr. Su of Kimberly-Clark. So how are you going to make Unilever increase by at least $100 in the next, I would say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years? And the answer is very clear. The way to do that is to gain investors' confidence based on very strong market earnings and achieving regularly sales volume targets in the next 6 months. If that is achieved, then Unilever will become the darling of Wall Street. A lot of people say that talk is cheap, that's why the selling image of a salesman becomes cheap. So many in the field of selling develop this term, what we call as sales managers, sales directors, and now I call it as an executive director for negotiations. This comes to light that not all companies understand the value of negotiating, which is selling. A lot of people, in fact, as I said, consider this as garbage. Talk is cheap. Talk is cheap because precisely it comes from a person who really does not even know how to talk. The grammar is bad, the choice of words, and the ability to define what they're talking about becomes a fallacy. And that's why many have considered this, especially now in this day and age, that talk is cheap, talk is fake news, talk is subject to verification. And guess what happened? So many companies have went down because of that mentality. Because in the first place, they hire the wrong people. And the management, the executive team would say what is happening. Before you know it, there's a lot of confusion. And the most important thing, sometimes the executive committee is the problem. Because of what? Professional jealousy, simply a lack of understanding of what's happening in the market, and therefore they blame the salespeople, the product managers, and the list goes on. Talk is cheap. Talk is cheap because it's all about talk. Talk, especially in selling, is based on figures. So many parameters. What we call as the distribution count in every store, the sales volume objectives for every category, and the most important thing right now that I'd like you to think about, my dear listeners, especially in the manufacturing consumer world, would be sales projections vis-a-vis sales volume demand flow for every single category. There was a guy in the Philippines who, I cannot mention you right now the name, but they were so successful. In fact, they beat everybody there, including the Americans, because of what I taught them. That sales projections vis-a-vis demand flow and the complexity of the logistic sides of management will make you so wealthy. And you will achieve all-time high records all the time. And with the right negotiating team who can talk fluently what those verbs and adjectives in relation to the figures, sales parameters, will always make you achieve the all-time high net profit figures, net sales, and above all, the steady, as Mr. Fernandez would say, demand flow machine. It's a demand machine. And therefore, what is the next step? The next step is to understand how trending flow analysis works, so that when you go to these stores, there is no possibility of runouts, which is massive in any store in the world, except probably 7-Eleven, which, by the way, I was the person in the 1980s that made 7-Eleven spectacular. But there was so much infighting in and out, and look at them now. I think they're about to be sold again. Why? Because of that mentality. Talk is cheap. Anybody can become like you, Gavin Batista. Anybody can become like Jack Welch. That is the mentality today. And look at the results. So, let me get right into it. If that Sri Lankan, Mr. Fernandez, did not request me to put in diplomatic fashion to leave the premises of Cheese Bro Ponds International, oh my God, I think it is very safe to say, but because that happened in July to December 1986, in the heart of Southeast Asia, if that person, if that Sri Lankan did not ask me to leave the premises of Cheese Bro Ponds International, Unilever would be undoubtedly today the undisputed, spectacular darling of Wall Street decades ago. Decades ago. And we were always strictly taught by these executives to make sure not to reinvent the wheel. Ladies and gentlemen, I was telling them, we are not an automotive company. We are selling food. We are selling consumer products. This is not a wheel. For crying out loud. because they always look at a person based on science. They do not look at a person based on talent. And as I said, once you come out with that statement where anybody can become like Michelangelo, anybody can become like Alfred P. Sloan. And when they're there, this Delosario group, what happens? Nothing. In fact, it became worse. The company lost billions and billions of dollars. And that's why I'd like to amplify what Tesla superstar Elon Musk would say. Please, Americans, please, American professionals, please, American government officials, please put the word care, C-A-R-E, care into your job. And it is very clear, America has never been this bad. Policemen are being killed every day. And then on the other side, certain groups of our society would say, well, it's because so many of the police force are very corrupt. Yes and no. Because I agree with you, what's happening right now is a mild civil war between these gangs, the black community, that what happened with, that happened with Floyd, was killed by a policeman, are all very true, and it's non-stop. It continues to destroy the American civilized fabric of society. In fact, I'd like to address this to Governor Gavin Newsom. One of the policemen in Batavia is right now here in the state of Oklahoma City because he robbed me, Governor Newsom, he robbed me of my private documents in Orange County in Batavia and sold it big time. So I'd like to just be, opening up to our Californian connections, because at the rate things are going, California will be like probably Chicago in the next 10 years or less. And everybody is going here, Oklahoma, Texas, and all over the Midwest. So Governor Newsom, the big winner is really Texas. All the good things that Ronald Reagan, until your time, the big winner is Texas. The big winner is Texas. And it is very sad because all we had to do was to correct that that thinking that the talented people can be immediately replaced by these scums, by these criminals who pretend to be something they are not at all what they are claiming. And at the end of the day, as I would like to say, the investors of that given corporation suffer big time. And that list will be finally this weekend sent to no less than Secretary of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem. Yeah, the effects of no sleep for the last 72 hours is bringing some negative effects on my on this current video. Pardon me on that. But Mr. Fernandez, if you need my services, especially on what I call as integrative selling, for a lack of a better term on that term selling, all you have to do is Viber me. I can meet you in a very undisclosed place, because I know for a fact that so many multinationals and transnationals will follow me again and copy this particular business presentation. In fact, we have created new sales formats which has to be mastered by Unilever sales executives or sales directors or sales managers all over the world. And secondly would be how to master projections. Integrative selling, at the heart of integrative selling would be mastery of sales projections. Because I remember, Mr. Fernandez, when I was with Cheese Bro Ponce Unilever, we would start our day at about 6 in the morning. We would have breakfast, and we would end our day at around 11 in the evening. And we would work from Monday to Sunday. And I was so good at what I was doing that it is loud and clear all over the Unilever world that I continue to be the world record in sales for cosmetics and skincare to the tune of 600%. I think that's a very big figure. 600%. And there was this smart guy, a smart aleck, who said, well, because your base was so low. Oh, really? Oh, really? I'll tell you what. Let's go out right now with Walmart in Arkansas, and I will commit right now to Walmart, Target, WINCO, ALBERTSON'S, and the whole enchilada. Unilever products will increase across the board by 600%. That's clear. I'm on video here. I'm subject to perjury here. My number is 405-503-8511, or you can hit me with an email at superdeals1494@gmail.com. So projections are different from mastery of forecasting techniques. Again, in America, we are not allowed here to discriminate. If there are other companies out there that's having a tough time understanding what sales projections versus sales forecasting techniques, let me know. As I said, all you have to call up would be that number and the email address one more time, because this might be a long video now, would be superdeals1494@gmail.com. And then there is an old saying that the trend is your friend. So when you have already injected enough power in your sales revenue, the trending analysis is the most crucial part of it all. In other words, can you sustain it? Why cannot you sustain it? Why can't you sustain it? And what can you do in the next 6 months? Never think long term when it comes to trending analysis. And that's why most salespeople out there fail. And then we have another course. If you're interested in this course, this is one whole course, market segmentation. There is the basic form of market segmentation, and there is a higher form to segment one market even further. Most researchers fail in this, because when you go out there in the market and you say, well, we are segmenting them based on income. Oh, really? Especially in consumer, a person who is in the A segment and a person or a consumer who is in the D segment sometimes might not be a good way to segment it that way. So such as that is the main reason why in Walmart stores the situation of out of stock or runouts, what is popularly called here in America as runouts, is so rampant. So rampant. Because of that particular issue. The smart way to segment the market, I'd like to repeat, income level A and income level D sometimes are the same based on a particular product. And therefore the projections become either accurate or inaccurate. If it's inaccurate, what happens? Runouts again. The more runouts you have, the more chances of that particular consumer to shift to another brand, or more importantly, stop buying that brand. A lot of retailers in the world do not like too much computer verbals. Why? Because they become confused, and before you know it, your sales presentation is gone. What does gone mean? You're gone. Especially with big retailers here. You just struck out. So we would like to make your computer skills very retail friendly. How do we do that? It's again very complicated. It's a very, very difficult educational training understanding. It cannot be squeezed in one day, you know. You really must have the budget to understand that, because, you know, at the end of the day, the computer systems must be retail business friendly, or else it is not only worthless, but it is going to be ineffective, and it's going to be a very big turnoff. So what you see in the market right now, for example, with Walmart, Target, WINCO, there is one thing that is very outstanding with Walmart, and that would be their checkout counters when it comes to the cash registers. The automated ones are doing very well right now. It has improved that drastically. But what makes Walmart today would be their quick ingenuenico, pardon the expression, pardon the incorrect pronunciation of that particular term. I think it's in WINCO, that when you slide your card, automatically you get the response. In retail, every second counts. Every second counts. And that's why I have developed this system. It's a new system, by the way, that it will take you only 60 seconds to get all your products in one cart instantly. It will be launched very soon. I am tying up with a major software developer, and software manufacturer that can do this particular software. But then again, as I told you, I'd like to be very careful on computer systems. Because if you go to Target right now, WINCO and the rest, they are not performing as good as Walmart. Because their software is very defective. It's very ineffective. In fact, it is the reason why Walmart is still number one. So, to my Filipino-American connections, I promise you this. I promised you that I will also come out with a seminar on the 10 major mistakes of Filipino and non-Filipino or international manufacturers in dealing with retailers. Because once you correct that, obviously your sales revenue will grow, your image will be elevated, and the most important thing, your net margins will be preserved and sustainable. And on the other side, on the manufacturer side, there are 10 most important sales and marketing talents you must possess in the next 5 to 10 years, or else you will be gone. Because there are so many retailers here in America that are gone, sad to say. And then, of course, I would like to inform you on the many new sales negotiating techniques that we have here that I have initiated and developed and invented in the 50 United States and Trust Territories, Canada, and Mexico City. And I also promised you, and this is for so many marketing executives out there, that you will have to stick on the marketing principles and marketing laws. It is very clear that marketing is a science. If you deviate from that understanding, it will create chaos. And that exactly was done during the time when Colgate-Palmolive was on a slide. And up to now, they could not elevate their current $20 billion in gross revenues. I would like to also stress the most important marketing parameters today. And I would like to define the new marketing programs. And again, how do you analyze a market? Marketing analysis is going to determine your future success as a company long term. If your analysis does not even be worthy to be called what an analysis should be, then it's over. And we are likely going to create our own marketing programs also in-house. I'd like to inform my listeners who want or need my training and training services for the creation of these marketing programs that will be in software form. Let me know, because we are willing to open our doors there. Based on the standard marketing fees on training and development. And we would like to also inform you of our most effective social media mediums. Most effective social media mediums. It will be probably the greatest breakthrough this year. Because what you understood, what the medium of selling in 5 years ago is gone. It's over. In fact, as I said, it might even add on to your difficulties in achieving big numbers. The old saying that read the manual, read the procedures, this is all hogwash already. Remember in my last video, in the 1950s, 60s, 70s, selling was so bad. They would ride the truck, put the products there and sell it. And then came the term pre-selling, which was defined very polishedly, or in a very polished manner, in a very smooth, polished manner by Pepsi-Cola, made them number one. Pre-selling was considered a no-no, especially in Asia and Europe, because they said, I might lose money. They might rob me with the products. No, ma'am. Just relax. Okay? No, sir. Just relax. Pre-selling is very methodological. It's a very procedural oriented, that there is no way the money will be stolen. And so we demonstrated it. And lo and behold, it became the most effective tool of making money in the world. And now other industries do it. From real estate to jewelry, everybody does it. And then we came out with another program called distributorship, merchandising, selling. Again, they said, Gavin, come on, don't waste your time. That will not work. No way. Look at it now. Millions of distributors all over the world use that system. So going back to the marketing executives, because we are practically doing some fancy work here, I know you guys probably are now confused with all the myriad of information. As I said, I can be reached anytime at my Viber number. If you are, let's say, in Korea, South Korea, right now, in my friends in Seoul, all you have to do is give me a call at my Viber app at 405-503-8511, because I was talking to a lady from Taiwan just yesterday, and we had a quick exchange, and it's very clear that they are at a loss out there for new and better ways to get their product to the consumers. And also, last but not the least, there are 10 most important marketing strategies that you must master as a marketing executive. That will be discussed in my upcoming video in detail. But if you would like to understand it immediately for your given company, let me know at superdeals1494@gmail.com. And last but not the least, this is the most important part of the marketing sequel video. And that would be to make sure, 100% sure, that you have the right marketing executives that must possess these 10 talents. If they do not have that, then it is a high-risk hire. The only way to do that, therefore, is to train them based on the training programs that I would love to explain and train and develop your group. My fees are all very standard. It's nothing that will make your bank go bankrupt. But in fact, it will prosper every single year because we are willing to analyze. Let me underline that word, because a lot of people do the biggest mistake of their life by having the wrong analysis, and therefore their reading of the market future will be very costly. Unlike in my systems, which are already proven, by the way, on month one alone, you can see the revenue flow coming in. Numbers never lie. So that's basically it. I would like to thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your time, and thank you for watching. And if you have any questions, call me direct and we will answer it at 405-503-8511. I am on Viber. That number is on Viber. Or if you want to hit me with an email at superdeals1494@gmail.com. This is Gavin Batista, your host at the Prosperity Channel. Thank you. And again, my warm regards to the new CEO of Unilever, none other than Mr. Fernando Fernandez.